Hello, welcome back to the Wizard Den. I'm Brian, and today we're going to discuss some things. So, first of all, I'm freezing. I just felt it was the perfect time to make a video. As you can see, I'm wearing this, but I'm wearing a thin pair of pajamas and, no socks. So I'm kind of freezing, I'm cold. But, we're going to speak about, not being an armchair magician. I talk about it all the time. How to become a practitioner, how to really get out there and do stuff. I've been doing this stuff for years. I've been doing it for like 8 years now. So I have a lot to say when it comes to being a practitioner. I was a armchair magician for a couple years there. I felt defeated. I felt like, I couldn't perform a successful evocation, and it kept me from doing invocations out of, just feeling defeated. So I have a lot to speak on when it comes to that. I have a lot of experience, personal experience with it. And, what's generating this conversation is somebody called me a LARPer, a pretender. He really got infuriated by watching one of my videos, and it generated some anger within me because he has no idea who I am or what I do. And, just by listening to my video, he thinks he's able to determine that I'm just some armchair magician and I don't do anything, which is just the furthest from the truth. I have tons of proof that I constantly do invocations. Constantly. I send these pictures and videos to my friends all the time because we talk about my rituals and we talk about their rituals. We're in constant communication. I'm in constant communication with multiple people. And him to go off of my communication abilities when I'm autistic just shows you the IQ of this dude. He's slightly retarded. It's not a good measuring device because I have autism, bro. I'm not good at talking. I think I communicate pretty well, that I'm a good person. I care about people. I never try to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm a very genuine person, and I don't come on here and say, I'm an expert, I'm a professional. I don't do that. I don't come up on here and project to be something, especially something I'm not. I just come on here with my truth. I come on here with no fake front. I am who I am. I don't pretend to be nothing. I just tell you what I know. And that's all I can do, But moving forward, it generated this concept, how to take yourself from being an armchair magician and the common reasons that you are one into being an occultist. I made a video kind of similar to this the other day, and I think you should check it out. But essentially, most people are armchair magicians because of failure. They failed, and they didn't like the taste of failure. They think that they'll never be able to progress. And these people are looking for some kind of, they're just reading books, waiting to see and stumble upon something that will take them, that secret magic word or that secret magic phrase or secret magic meditation that will take them from a armchair magician and make them successful. That one ritual with a spirit that'll make them psychic. And it takes hard work. It takes determination. And, I wouldn't be saying these things if I didn't know. Nobody said just spews words out without knowing. Or at least I don't. I'm not sitting here saying it takes hard work without knowing firsthand that it takes hard work and determination. Dedication. You have to push through. If you're not psychically gifted, if you can't hear spirits, if you can't see spirits, if you can't feel and sense spirits, if you can't telepathically communicate, then look, you need to work on it. It's going to take time. It's going to take work, but it's not that hard. The biggest thing is just, here's the technique. If you try to communicate with a spirit and you find that it doesn't work, try a different spirit. When I was going through this, I was very hard-headed and wanted to communicate with Raziel only, right? And then what happened is I started, eventually, after failing so many times in a row, I ended up switching up, and I went to the Goetia, and I would try a spirit and it would fail, and I would try another spirit and it would fail. It took me like 10 failures, and then I hit Haginti, which I have stuck with for years. Very good spirit, alchemy based spirit. Ipos is another one. You know, there's certain spirits that will come very easily, and you know, they'll show themselves. They'll be powerful when they show themselves, to where if you're not psychically gifted, you can still sense them. Ipos is one of them. He will come no matter what. Haginti is another one. You have to find spirits that really want to work with you. If you have issues, this is for people that have issues getting a successful evocation underneath their belt. Try different spirits. I mean, there's 72 of them. 72 demons. Just go through the list, dude. Try all of them. You know, I guarantee you one of them will come. Number 2, if you're not getting success, analyze your conjurations. Your conjurations most likely need to be edited and properly written out. I can copy and paste one in the video. If you give me one day from the post of this video, I will have it in the comment section. A full conjuration that you can copy, and then just put in, you know, spirit name, the rank, the legions of spirits they control, and their in, and you know, of course, their sigil. Just fill in the blanks, okay? And I will give you a template to use, okay? That way, if you're a beginner, you have something to go off of. Because typically, once you have this conjuration written up prior, you don't want to just go willy-nilly in there without a conjuration, and just, especially in the beginning, and just sit there and say it in and look at a sigil. Not until you are psychically gifted. When you're psychically gifted, you can just sit there, say the in, look at the spirit's sigil, and it'll come. Especially once you have built a relationship with a spirit. But if you don't have a relationship built with a spirit, just calling the in and looking at a sigil is not going to work, okay? You need to do a conjuration in order to get the spirit to come. So we're talking again, this is for beginners that are having trouble. This is for you. So you need a conjuration written up. You need time when you're by yourself, so you can get lost in the moment. Typically, what happens to people is they start getting lost in future tense thinking. You know, what if somebody comes into the room? What if somebody can hear me right now? What if somebody's listening on the other side of the door? What if somebody comes in? You know, all this stuff, it gets in the way and it makes you lose focus. You want to be able to be as loud as you want to be able to not worry about if somebody's coming or not. You need to have time by yourself and a space and place where nobody's going to bother you. And if you have somebody there, let them know to not bother you, leave you alone for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I typically tell my fiance, leave me alone for 45 minutes. Give me a half hour to 45 minutes to leave me alone. Okay? Or I wake up in the middle of the night around 2 a.m. and then I go and do it then. But you want to have uninterrupted time. I can't put emphasis on how important that is. That is the number one reason why people fail rituals, because you're constantly worrying about X, Y, and Z and you're not focusing on the ritual. Focus is imperative. You need to be focused on the ritual. Number 2, fear. Another thing is fear. You can't be afraid. If you're afraid of the spirit you're working with, you need to change the spirit. Because if you're afraid of the spirit that you're working with, you're blocking the process from happening. Because if you're afraid of the spirit, I mean, subconsciously you're not going to allow the invocation to occur. So you need to work on spirits that you're not afraid of. And if you can only work with angels or whatever, then they have the 72 Shimhem Farash or whatever the heck. Just do those. They also have 84 genius spirits. Try those. And again, just because one doesn't work doesn't mean that it's not going to work at all. You need to be into it. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to ask for anything. You just need to have them come. Because when you get a spirit to answer your call, your subtle senses, your psychic abilities will start to get enhanced because you are working with a different kind of energy that your body is not used to. Your receptiveness is going to go through the roof the more times you do it. So it's not about, say you can't think of a single reason that you be calling Ipos forth, but he seems to come every time. Then build a relationship with Ipos. Keep him coming and ask him to, guide you, and ask him to, give you knowledge and wisdom about anything that he finds useful and thinks that can help you. Anything at all. It doesn't have to have a purpose. You just need to make that interaction happen. Working with those energies is going to help you tremendously. The more you do it, the more building up your senses will be, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. The more your senses will build up over time. So, because you're working with energies that you're not used to. You're working with sounds that you're not used to hearing. Subtle voices that you're not used to listening to. Visions you're not used to seeing. So you have to build this receptiveness and open-mindedness up. Also, being open, opening your awareness to everything in the room, and not just seeing the spirit, not just hearing the spirit, but maybe smelling it, maybe tasting. The spirit will communicate to you through all of your psychic senses. So be open and be available on all levels. That way you're ready to process all energetic frequencies that are coming through. Like I said, this is basically just showing you how to get a successful evocation, because most people are just armchair magicians because they don't know how to get a successful evocation, and they're afraid to fail again. Fear of failure. They failed and it doesn't feel good, and they don't want to go back until they know how to do it. So I'm trying to give you tips to work with. I hope this helps. I hope it gets some of you to move and make that transition into a practitioner. Once you get that first successful evocation under your belt, it's going to feel so good. It's going to be so nice. It's going to feel right. And then you won't want to stop. After you get that successful invocation, you're not going to want to stop. I know that's how it was for me. I started doing it every day, and I have been since. Ever since I had that first successful invocation with Raziel and Marbas and Haginti, ever since I started getting those, oh my God, it changed my whole world. I fell in love with the occult all over again. It's a beautiful thing. But alright guys, peace.